Right, hi, I'm Richard Brown. I'm with Innovative Imaging and Research. We're based out of Stennis Space Center, Mississippi. We've been out there for about 12 years now. We do a lot of imaging algorithm development. We do UAS work. We help a lot of folks with satellite sensors, aerial sensors. We have a full optics lab where we calibrate cameras and sensors for a lot of different companies. We do a lot of fancy science work and things like that, but we also have come into the realm of flying UAVs with cameras and sensors on them for doing various and sundry projects. So, today's project is going to be a reflight, actually a revisit of something that was flown in 2017, right? Out here with a number of wonderful school children. And if you look out this away is our beautiful marsh. It's Magnolia Bayou that's out there. It's a wonderful living ecosystem that's out there that connects with the Bay of St. Louis. And so we're going to fly over it today with our little Phantom 3 Pro drone right here, which has a very nice camera on it, very good optics, and actually puts geographic information on every single photo that it takes as it flies back and forth over the top of the marsh. We have a pre-programmed mission that we're going to fly today, so that's already been programmed onto the tablet here. And so it's going to have a number of things called flight legs on it. So these flight legs that go back and forth and make sure we get coverage over every single square inch of area that we want of our bayou that's out there. And so as the drone, the Phantom 3, is flying back and forth, it is programmed to take images at specific intervals, time intervals, so that it gets perfect coverage over the bayou as it flies along. Now the data that it takes, as I said, is going to be something called geostamped or geotagged. It means every single image, it's going to have information on it that knows its latitude and longitude, so it's going to know exactly where it is in the world. And so from that, I can take all the data after we land and check our data to make sure it's good. I can take it back into my map processing software, turn it into a mosaic. Okay, a mosaic is basically, think of a jigsaw puzzle. So you got all your pieces of your jigsaw puzzle that you empty out of the box, right? That's all your photos that you're getting ready to take over the bayou area. So with that, you have a little help though with the latitude and longitude information, in that you know where each of the puzzle pieces goes exactly, and the software does that for you. So what the software does is puts your puzzle together, if you will, and makes a mosaic or a jigsaw puzzle that fits on the Earth as a map into Google Earth or whatever other GIS package you might have, so you know exactly where your image set belongs as far as a image jigsaw puzzle, if you will, or mosaic. So with that, because we did fly this 5 years ago in 2017, we're going to be able to do something very unique after we fly this mission today. That's compare what it looked like back then with what it looks like now, 5 years later. I think about the similar time too, because I remember the gnats were out that time too. Yep. So the gnats that own this place are greeting us once again this year, and so we know we're about in the same season. So that's important too, because as we fly over, let's say we flew in the middle of winter time. If we flew in the middle of winter time, our marsh would look brown. Everything would be kind of dechlorophyled. Nothing would be as green as it is. But right now we've had some good rain. We've had some 70-degree weather for a little bit. So things are starting to green up. So hopefully we've got an apples to apples comparison between our jigsaw puzzle from 2017 and our jigsaw puzzle that we're getting ready to fly today and then process for you guys. So I have good power on this. I'm going to place this down. We're going to go turn on our drone. Little sound. Okay, and so I brought our little bird's friend today. This is Big Bird. So Big Bird's about 1 meter across. He's not going to fly today. He's just going to encourage the other one. But Big Bird is a very, very big bird. I am 6.5 feet tall. Big Bird is half of that across. He's very big. He's not going to fly today, and he's got his own camera on him too, but he would be kind of overkill for our project today. So he instead is going to watch his buddy fly, do the yeoman's work today. All right, let's go back to our controller, make sure everybody's talking to each other. Okay, I see good stuff here. Okay, we have several targets that we've placed out in our field here, so we know exactly where some points are in some of our imagery as we make our map, and those targets will be very visible in our jigsaw puzzle that we're going to put together later. So we have number 1 and number 2. Right now we're going to go over and measure #1 survey target with our Trimble unit. Here's #1. Target we have measured. We have another one I'm going to also measure in the same way, but we're getting ready to take off here, so we won't show that one as well. And so let's go over this away. All right, so I've gone through my checklist now. And everything on my checklist says we are prepared for flight. It says we have all our settings good. We have good GPS satellites that are visible. GPS is very important, so the bird knows exactly where it's at when it's flying, and also so it can geostamp each one of those images. Our battery is good. Camera has checked out good. Our memory card is good. We have plenty of space to take pictures. And we have a go home command put in there too, because that's important, because we wouldn't want our bird to just leave us and go away after it takes all its nice pictures, would we? Okay, so my controller says we are ready to fly. Are you ready to fly? Let's go. Clear left, clear right. Away we go. So here's our bird flying on our controller, flying as fast as she can, going out to that first waypoint, which is way out here. So fast. Now our bird is taking photos for us, so every time you see the screen flash, that's yet another photo that's taken. So she got to the end of her first flight leg. She's what we call crabbing over to the next one, and then she's going to go along this green line here for her next sequence of photos that she's going to take. Look at the beautiful marsh. So what we're looking for today is, I'm remembering looking at the data from 2017, 5 years ago when we flew. As I'm looking at the live data here, as the bird is taking some additional updated photos, if our bayou, Magnolia Bayou, has gotten any wider or any skinnier since then. We've had several tropical storms over those 5 years, so they might have made a surge, and they might have widened out the bayou or flattened out the bayou. And also to see how the plant life, the botany, is developing. So if there's any new marsh grass, if there's any new cut-throughs, maybe some little friendly beaver or otters or something like that might have made some little paths through the marsh grass. We'll be able to see that in the data and see how not just the flora, but the fauna, the animals are doing out here. Another bird in the air. So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the trees that have grown a little bit, some trees that have fallen down, and some things that have floated in on the storm. So those are all things that we'll be looking for and comparing between our 2017 data and our 2022 data.
Here it comes.
On our final approach, coming back home. Still catching great photos. All those trees, different colored.
How many feet does it go before it takes another photo?
It is probably about 100 feet between each photo. And there's a piece of the road up there. And now she's going to come home.
And that green dot is where we are.
Mm-hmm. You hear the beep beep? That means I'm ready to come home. Minutes finished. I'll just say later for that.
Let's see if we can catch it on the camera.
Okay. Here's a cowie.
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Coming in for a landing. "100 feet, 50 feet, 30 feet,
She'll hit her target.
Boom!
Pretty close.
Do have some closing words. So notice our bird's camera is still pointing down with the lens down. So I'm going to use my button here to turn the camera back up so it's pointing forward. Camera looks good, checking my lens. She's all ready to go once again. So now we'll just have to check our data and make a nice map for everyone. Thanks for watching us fly.